Will I cry in this video? Absolutely. It's just a matter of when. On a positive note, we've got a lot of fun new products to try out that I'm actually really excited about. But I'm a hot mess today, you know, and some days just be like that. And that's okay. You know, it could be worse. It could be worse. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I was debating. I'm like, do I film? Do I not film? Do I film? Do I not film? Like, I'm a hot mess. I'm gonna cry. And then I'm like, you know what? That's freaking life, baby. But what we are gonna do is we're gonna choose joy. And I'm gonna create a sandwich. So we're gonna have a positive, then we're gonna go into some negatives, then we're gonna finish with some positives in life, okay? That's the type of sandwich we're creating today. Side note, I have a little bit left on of this like lip stain, but it's literally stunning. It's brand new from CoverGirl. It's the Outlast lip stain. This is in the shade Shuggy Girl. I had some on yesterday. It's so gorgeous. It's so affordable. I'll link it in the description box. This isn't sponsored, although call me CoverGirl. Easy breezy, beautiful. CoverGirl. Okay, so starting with our positive, Dana and I just got back from vacation. We had such a positively lovely, beautiful time. It was everything we needed and more. We barely talked about kids. We barely talked about fertility, like none of that. And it was just incredible to have a week to just connect and to have fun and to have dinners for 3 hours and laugh. And I have a short story from our vacation that will kind of lead us into our next topic. 2 days on the trip, we did excursions. One of the days we did horseback riding. It was incredible. It took us down to this natural body of water in the ocean that we swam in. It was insane, right? And then another day we were gonna go on a catamaran. Keyword being going to. And so this was the one day of the week we had to get up super, super early. We're like not morning people. And so we got up at the crack of dawn, did breakfast, jumped off the ship, and we're like frantically looking for this marina to do this catamaran ride. It was like an all day thing. We were gonna go snorkeling, blah, blah, blah. So we get off and, I, for the life of me, cannot figure out where this marina is and what's going on. And finally I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna ask someone, right? So I asked someone and they're like, ma'am, this is on Bonaire. You're in Curacao. I booked an excursion on the wrong island. So I'm the one who planned it and booked it and I screwed it up. And in that moment, we could choose to go two ways, right? Daniel could be annoyed. He got up super early where now we have nothing to do. We wasted money. I wasted money. We could have an argument. I could throw a tantrum. Oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. Like what, right? We could do that. Or we could just say, okay, and chalk it up to life and go on and continue to have and choose to have a great day regardless, right? And that's what we did. Daniel just looked at me and he was like, okay, so you want to go to the beach? I was like, yeah, let's go to the beach. So we took a taxi to the beach and we ended up having the best day. It was hands down our favorite day of the trip. We got lots of reading done. I finished reading Iron Flame. If you know, you know. The point of this story is to say that life will not go your way sometimes, right? Like life will be beautiful and incredible, and it will also grab you by the feet and it will freaking slam you on the floor. And you get to choose the way you respond when these things come your way. And like, I cannot stress the importance, and Daniel and I are beyond not perfect people. Marry someone who will choose joy with you. Marry someone who will say, okay, switch navigation and keep rocking and rolling, you know, because life gets tough, man. And so, which leads to some of the negatives. My period was late. And I took a pregnancy test yesterday, not pregnant, ended up starting my period today, which is kind of like just a double whammy, honestly, when you're like trying after loss and all the things, because it's like you take the test, you're not pregnant, then your period comes. You're just like, yeah, I got it, not pregnant, got it. As mentioned in previous videos, I won't go into it all, but essentially I'm waiting for my HCG levels to go back to 0. after a miscarriage to technically try again. Now, I would be lying to you if I said that we may or may not have tried on this cruise, which is why the disappointment was real when I did find out yesterday that I was not pregnant. I had a miscarriage at the very end of February. We are now in May, and my HCG level is currently at a 6. We started it at like just under 100,000, and I got the call like literally an hour ago because I got back from the trip and I did blood work, and they're like, it's at a 6, and we wanted to be at a 0. I'm like, how am I gonna do eye makeup if I'm crying? I just feel like such such a failure as a woman, like to have the first ruptured ectopic pregnancy where this fertilized embryo doesn't even make it past my tube, you know, it ruptures, we have to take out the tube. And then the second time I miscarried, and it's like, you know, we ended up getting pathology reports, and there wasn't like a cause, like there wasn't a cause, and I kept thinking like that finding out, oh, it's because oh, it's because there was a chromosomal issue, oh, it's because like that would make me feel better. But finding out that there was no reason that they could find, I think it just hurt more than I was expecting. We also found out the gender of our baby, which is such a double-edged sword. It makes me so sad to know what we lost out on. It makes me so sad in the sense of like, it makes it feel more real. Nobody wants to have a gender reveal that way through a pathology report. But in the same breath, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have that to look forward to in heaven. And it just, it helps my mind. I think it will in the long term help my mind to focus on the eternal and not focus on this world. And that gives me so much hope and joy and all the things. But it was I had a more emotional response than I was anticipating. And Daniel and I have decided not to share the gender and just keep that between ourselves. And then just having my body once again like struggle and cling to this pregnancy so much, where I still have this HCG level in my system months and months and months later, it just makes me feel like crap. Like, it makes me feel like such a failure, transparently. And I'm not saying that so that you'll comment and be like, you're not a failure. Like, I'm just sharing. I'm just being honest. I'm not looking for compliments. I'm not looking for you to tell me my body's a rock star. Like, I'm really not. I'm just laying it out on the line. This is how I'm feeling, and this is how it be. Side note, we're gonna try a new brow product that CoverGirl sent. And it is in the shade Blonde, and it actually looks like a really, really nice shade. And it's a super fine pencil. And I have a lot of hope for this, but I am gonna do this off camera because I am incapable of talking and doing my eyebrows. I don't think you understand. This is so good. Okay, the color, if you're a blonde, insane. It's incredibly similar to the Kosas taupe color. It's fire. It's maybe like a hair more warm tone than the cool toneness of the taupe, but it's very, very, very similar. I really like it for the price. It's sensational. It has a I don't know what this is called, but a brush on the other end, and it's beautiful. I'm very impressed. Side note, my hair got so stinking blonde on these screws. When I go next to get my hair done, I'm gonna have to like I don't know. I want to go back to more of like that dirty blonde kind of vibe that we had going. This week in the sun, it was 8 days and it just bleached the heck out of my hair. Okay, honestly, I think that that's gonna be the conclusion on the fertility situation. Not pregnant. We're just gonna take it one day at a time. Trust that the Lord is in control and that he knows when he wants us to conceive, and keep trucking on. Now I've got some neighborhood tea for you, okay? I've got some drama for you. The tea is hot. The tea is hot. So I'll give you a slight, really quick catch up if you don't already know about Fencegate. Long story short, when we moved into our neighborhood, we got a beautiful wooden fence for our sweet, sweet dogs. They are both rescue dogs. They are the loves of my life. And we got them a fence for obvious reasons. Now, we chose to get a privacy wooden fence as opposed to like a metal fence that has holes in it or a wooden fence that has spaces in between it, because our dog Wednesday is not a fan of men, really people in general, but men, right? So we don't know all of her past, all of her story, but whenever she sees a man walk by our house, she goes absolutely ballistic. We didn't want to be the new neighbors with the obnoxious barking dog, so we got a privacy fence so that she would hopefully not see people, neighbors walking past our yard and bark, because we didn't want to be the obnoxious new neighbors with the barking dog, right? Right. So we get our fence. Long story short, everyone in the neighborhood starts a group chat talking smack about our fence. They hate our fence. Did you see how ugly their fence is? Blah, blah, blah. There was like a literal group chat about how ugly our fence was between all the women in the neighborhood. And which, like, find a hobby, am I right? Okay, the neighborhood called the county on us to come out to look at our said fence. County approved our fence, said neighbors will have to get over it. There's nothing wrong with your fence, blah, 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 right? And then we get an email yesterday. No, that's a lie. We got an email last week from our HOA. We finally got an HOA company. We finally got a company that runs our HOA, because we didn't have an HOA previously, right? As a neighborhood. Which is why we didn't have to have our fence be approved. Anywho, they send us an email. Bear in mind, this is over a year later. We moved in January last year. We're going on almost a year and a half of Fencegate. And so what happened is, we don't know exactly who, and it's okay, we don't need to know who. Some people in the neighborhood went to the HOA and said, listen, you gotta finally get rid of this fence. And our best friend is a lawyer, a real estate lawyer. By the way, I'm using the Tower 28 mascara. This is in brown. Never used brown mascara. Actually, maybe I have once, but I don't know. I haven't used this mascara. And, ooh, a curved wand. Intriguing. Okay, hang on. Let me pause this story because this is so important. Let me put on this mascara and come back, because can't multitask. This mascara is truly stunning, but I really feel like this looks black and not brown, and I'm slightly confused, right? It is brown. Like, when you look at it on the tube compared to the black, it's 100% brown, 100%, but it's gotta be a very dark brown. I don't know, but I'm kind of living for it, right? Back to the tea. So our friend is a real estate lawyer, so he calls the guy and he's like, listen, the county has already come out. The fence is good to go. Beep, 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 beep. Tells them all this stuff, and they take the hold off of our account. Like, they were just talking, excuse the expression, it's kind of gross, but just talking out their butt, and to kind of try to scare us to take our fence down. But in reality, they didn't really have any ground to stand on. And it just, truth be told, it baffles me. It baffles me that people care that much about what's going on in our backyard. Is Fencegate over? I don't know. We may never know. I mean, we're coming up on a year and a half, and the tea is still boiling. But fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. We're going to conclude this video with two positives, in fact. One, the fact that I could not be more obsessed with this Shuggy Girl, CoverGirl lip stain. Stunning color. Love it. The entire color range is to die for. Side note, another positive, bada bing, bada boom. Love this mascara. Love this mascara from Tower 28. I also could not be more obsessed with Rare Beauty's Cheer Blush. It is insanely pretty. And I am happy and healthy and alive and well and grateful. So grateful, despite the tough things that life is handing me. I am so lucky, blessed, fortunate, grateful, all the things. And this is how we'll conclude, is that I was sitting in my yard last night reading on my back porch, and I was watching my dogs play in the yard, and I just got tears in my eyes and covered in goosebumps. And I was just like, thank you, God. I have prayed and prayed and prayed for years for a big, beautiful yard for my dog, and I'd always wanted two dogs. And like, here I am looking at that prayer answered, looking at that blessing, seeing, like, I mean, just reading on the porch with my dogs playing in this beautiful backyard, and just feeling so much gratefulness and thinking, like, I used to be praying for that, and now I'm sitting in that answered prayer. Now I've got this next prayer. This hasn't been answered yet, but I can rest in what God has already provided and in his faithfulness. I'm not gonna cry again. I love y'all. It's been a challenging day, I can't lie to your face, but God is good. I am blessed, and I just love you, and I am so grateful that you're watching this video. Okay, I will have all these products linked in the description box down below if there's anything you want to grab. And I'm actually really happy with how the makeup turned out. Side note, I applied this lip stain slightly sloppily, but gosh dang, it even still looks good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm actually really pleased. I feel cute. We love to see it. All right, well, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.